because that's exactly what I was saying we can do.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it may not be PowerPoint, but it just there's just something to go off of now. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
while we learning,
And it's
alo-
more information than we all learn at the same time.
exactly. So for this particular little emergency recording, we just trying to learn more about what's happening in the Congo. This is something that is just very current. According to the article in this one joint, it's saying 6.9 million people are internally displaced, I guess, from their homes because of the violence. So, we about to kind of just, slide through this and a couple of other random pieces of information to see what's going on. So, they talking about a conflict between the M23 rebels and militias that's loyal to the actual government have intensified, I guess, and they fighting in the capital called Agoma. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's saying that because of this fighting between the rebels and the government, many people were fleeing their homes, but then they still, even though it's saying they stayed within the borders as if they actually had a choice. I think them niggas is trapped within the borders. Like the other neighboring countries is like, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't coming over here. Because if that was the case, then they would have just kept it moving all the way to another country until it died down.
Right, right.
And then what these niggas saying? They saying that conflict has been reported as the primary reason for them, I guess, kind of being put out of their homes or at least fleeing from their homes. Um, Several Western nations, including the United States and France, accused Rwanda of backing the Tutsi-led M23. Okay, so that sentence right there. Did you ever see a movie
What's
back?
that?
Yeah, there was a movie back in the day
Hmm.
with your boy Don Cheadle where uh, he plays one of these niggas. So in the Congo, you had it's like so if you think Blood and Crips, you have the Tutsi and I believe the Rwandans or whatever.
Hmm.
So it's basically two tribes within this region or within this country that have always kind of had a historical beef type shit. So
Hmm.
once them devils left with the slavery and left these niggas back to their own devices, they still kind of reverted back to that tribal beef that they kind of always had type situation. And back in the 90s, it got to the point where motherfuckers was cutting off people's arms and shit. It was
Oh my
crazy. Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, Don Cheadle, he had played in a movie. Matter of fact, let me
What
jump to
was it
that.
called?
I'm about to pull that joint up.
Right.
And I seen the movie, but I just, clearly it was so long ago. I just don't remember both sides. But I think the movie was called Hotel Rwanda. Matter of fact, as I'm typing
Oh
it,
yeah, yeah, I've heard of that. I've never seen it,
so yeah, as
but
I'm
I've
typing
definitely heard
it,
of Hotel.
it's coming back to my mind. Dude played a hotel owner that took in some of these people that were refugees to give them a place to kind of lay low and be safe while all of the crazy shit was popping off or whatever. But
Mm.
but yeah, that's
So that's really it. Like, I mean, you know,
yeah. I'm gonna say they got the knife
it's
and shit.
not.
They was chopping motherfuckers'
So
arms off
it's basically like people, unfortunately, just some of the regular civilians are having to pay the price for this.
yeah, cause the way my mind remembers the movie, like imagine if the Bloods and the Crips and like here in America. But imagine if one of them, like the Bloods, actually ran the United States government, and then you have
Hmm.
the Crips, that's the rebels, quote unquote, fighting against the blood control government. So niggas is busting and banging like every day, damn near everywhere, every day. And
Hmm.
it's getting so hectic everywhere, Cleveland, Chicago, Atlanta, wherever, to where niggas in America is like, God damn it, we need to go to flee to Mexico to just to get away from all this craziness. And that's what it seems like is the type of stuff that's happening there. You know what I mean? To at least kind of give a visual to the listeners who don't want to get lost in all of the the fine
The hoopla.
details. Yeah, yeah. But it's saying, yeah, for decades the Congolese people have been living through a storm of crises. Um, Let me try to jump that.
Oh, so they've been dealing with this basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back in the '90s, it was on, and it was to the point where they was chopping off random guys and little boys' arms and shit. Like they wasn't even
Oh my
killing niggas; they was just
god.
chopping off their arm because if a nigga only got one arm, then he ain't really a threat like that, which was
Oh
crazy. And
wow.
that's what they was doing to their enemies. So now I gotta, let's take a deep or dive into figure out the actual beef. I'm just gonna put that shit in just like that. Beef between Tutsis and oh yeah, Hutu. That was the motherfucking other set. The Hutu.
Mm.
And then mm, so all right, boom. So this is like a brief history of the country in a nutshell, snapshot type shit. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. We could skim through this in a decent amount of time. So it says by 1994, the population was at around 7 million, composed of
Hmm.
three groups: the Hutu, who were 85% of the population, the Tutsi, who were 14%, and the Twa, which made up 1%. So it's talk about in the prior to the colonial era, the Tutsis were in the higher strata of the social system, and the Hutus were the lower. Pardon me. So I guess like in a sort of caste system, the Tutsis was at the top. They was running shit,
Yeah.
and then the Hutus was like bottom. So then it says, what did it say? A Hutu who acquired a large number of cattle or other wealth could be assimilated into the Tutsi group, and an impoverished Tutsi would be regarded as a Hutu. That sounds
Oh,
crazy.
so if you
So
wait. So if you got money, basically,
you could level up. That's like saying in
you
America,
can level up.
if you get enough, even though we
You could
do
pass
say it,
go.
we say it low key in America. If you get enough money, then you kind of sort of treat it as white. If you rich and you black, you treat it to some degree as sort of white. But
Yeah,
you,
like your money obviously is a status, no matter your what
exactly.
your color is at a
Yeah, yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But to at least put it back in the terms of them, they saying a nigga that's from this tribe that if they got money, then they could be treated as a Tutsi, who I guess was the top. But if you was a Tutsi who's supposed to be at the top, so just like how we always say, well, not we, but as a lot of people tend to say, a white person who was born in American society with all of the benefits, the privileges, and if they still somehow end up not only poor but poor and homeless, then that's like damn, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they saying in this next sentence. A Tutsi who is poor would be treated as a Hutu, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you was born in
Yeah.
the in the upper dominant tribe, but because you poor and you ain't even take advantage of your position in this Congo society, we treating you like a Hutu, nigga. Like basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you didn't try to level up, so you gonna get treated like that.
Exactly. And then it said
Yeah.
a clan system also functioned. The Tutsi clan, known as the Nyinga. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce it, even though I tried and fucked it up. But that tribe, Nyinginya, being the most
Wow.
powerful. I'm trying.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the most powerful tribe.
Yeah, of Tutsi. Throughout the 1800s, the the Nyangiya expanded their influence by conquest and by offering protection in return for tribute. So basically, they was extorting. They was extorting people.
Yeah, so damn, these cold blooded.
And then it jumps to the 1950s, talking about ethnic conflict begins. The formal colonial power, Germany, lost possession of Rwanda during the First World War, and the territory was then placed under Belgian administration. In the late 1950s, during the Great Wave of decolonization, tensions increased, and then the Hutu political movement, they stood to gain from majority rule and was gaining momentum, while segments of the Tutsi establishment resisted basically democracy and the loss of their acquired privileges.
Hmm.
Cause yeah,
Oh
somewhere,
damn, so you lost privileges to do things?
yeah. So once again, in a system of white supremacy, this that sentence tells me a lot without even having to read further. So the fact that the Tutsi they were pretty much tight once basically the white people left because they lost their acquired privileges. So the difference between a right and a privilege, a right. Well, I ain't even gonna get too deep, but a right is something that you should just have naturally, type shit. You know,
Right.
a privilege is something that's given or taken away from you, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. So like you have the right
Yeah,
to want to do this and do that and be this and be that,
you
but
have the right to have a better life
yeah,
and a right to water, clean water, and a safe living situation.
exactly.
But a
But
privilege would be
like
to
a
live that
driver's
at a
license,
accelerate.
like you want to drive this
Right.
car, that's a privilege because that
Yeah.
license got to be given to you. And if you fuck up, we could take that license from you.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, basically, so there's that little background shit right there. So then it goes further. 1959, a violent incident sparked a Hutu uprising in which hundreds of Tutsi were killed and thousands displaced and forced to flee their neighboring countries. This marked the start of the so-called Hutu Peasant Revolution.
How
Or,
about to say, so nobody's trying to fight back? Okay. Finally, somebody's trying to
and
the
then
Hutus is trying to do something because damn, they just let 'em these people just slaughter them like this?
so like right here it's saying that the yeah, so it looked like at different parts of history one was more powerful than the other. So that's from the 50s. So then we're going to jump to the 1962, the 1960s or whatever. So when Rwanda finally gained its independence, it's told about how 120,000 people, primarily Tutsis, had taken refuge in neighboring states to escape the violence which had accompanied the gradual coming into power of the Hutu community. And then a new cycle of ethnic conflict and violence continued after independence, and Tutsi refugees in Tanzania and Zaire seeking to regain their former positions in Rwanda began organizing and staging attacks on Hutu targets and the Hutu government. So them niggas was out of town plotting, and I guess was like, fuck that. We about to, fight our way back in to get what we lost since they had fled earlier. It looked like
Right.
the fuck. Let me hit that motherfucker. All right. So
Hello.
yeah. So now we at the 1960s where
Hmm.
basically to recap for you, Shay, it's been a conflict between the Tutsis and the Hutu, which are two, I guess, major tribes traditionally within the Congo. And basically at one point in history, the Tutsis was running shit, and then by the time of the 50s, 60s, the Hutu kind of leveled up to where they just started killing mad Tutsis and sent them niggas running where they had to bounce out the country and then kind of plot revolution to come back in and fight their way in. So that's where we at now. And then let's see, boom, boom, boom. 10 such attacks occurred between 1962 and 1967, each leading to retaliatory killings of large number of Tutsi civilians in Rwanda, creating new waves of refugees. And then in the 1980s, so these niggas been just killing each other ever since them devils left. Just to say it straight like that in 1950s, or really the 1940s after, well, not even the 1940s, the 1950s or whatever. But so by the time of the 1980s, they
So
still
I
at
think
it.
they made this status.
Yeah, they still at it. They been look like they just been fighting and killing each other since like nonstop for the last 70 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Because how did nobody come and like
You know what I mean?
like
Like there
regulate?
should be near nigga left over there. If these niggas
Right.
been killing each other, fighting for goddamn this goddamn long. They started in 1950. It's 2023. That's 73 years. The fuck is going on here? 1988.
I guess because no one kind of regulated.
Well, once them colonizers left, they said, shit, it ain't our problem. We out. We ain't, being able to make money off y'all no more. We ain't enslaving y'all no more, so we don't give a fuck no more. We out.
Right.
And then the irony is, shit, I hate to say it, shit might have goddamn been a little bit better with them devils still there. The way these niggas is
Yeah,
acting
'cause
up,
they would have regulated. They would have regulated.
god damn, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. So anyway, we go to the 1990s. What they talking about? The RPF, the Rwandan Patriotic Front. They done launched some kind of attacks on Rwanda from Uganda with a force of 7,000 fighters. So these niggas got niggas camped out in other countries attacking because of the attacks, which would displace thousands, and a policy of deliberately targeted propaganda by the government. All Tutsis inside the country were labeled accomplices, and Hutu members of the opposition parties were labeled as traitors. Media, particularly radio, continued to spread unfounded rumors which exacerbated ethnic problems. So that's the 90s, 93, some more shit went down. And then they talk about signing some kind of peace agreements.
But I'm saying, how come no one trying to save nobody or try to help?
Because once again, once that white man pulled out, they couldn't exploit no more. If we ain't exploiting y'all shit no more, then there ain't no reason to want to help with nothing.
No, but even not the white people, even just the leaders over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. You would figure that the leaders of the neighboring countries, but
Yeah,
them niggas might have their
yeah,
own little fresh out of colonization issues they was trying to iron out themselves. Like,
right.
you know what I mean? We trying to figure out how to run this shit by ourselves with these devils finally taking their hand off the wheel. We trying to get our shit together. We can't help y'all. We trying to make sure our shit don't turn into y'all shit. uh, and then let's see, yada yada, something about human rights violations, Mm-mm-mm. Genocide. So more than 1 million people were estimated to have perished, and an estimated 150,000 to 250,000 women were R worded, to not say the actual word. Um,
Right.
let's see, 1994, the presidents of Burundi and Rwanda in a plane crash. They died in a plane crash because of some kind of rocket attack, and then more killings happened as a result of that. Um, boy, this shit, and yeah, that's crazy. Next, so this is all 94. Mm, yeah, just more killing. It's look like um, yeah, in April of '94, it looked like other countries asked to withdraw troops. The UNAMIR, I'm assuming that's some acronym, maybe for some kind of United African Force. I guess pulled up out of there too. Like, look, we tried, my nigga,
Mm.
but we're gonna have to let y'all niggas, tough this shit out or figure it out. Um, June, Security Council authorized French-led forces to mount a humanitarian mission, and they saved hundreds of civilians in southwest Rwanda. Um, but then it is also said to have allowed soldiers, officials, and militiamen involved in the genocide to flee Rwanda through the same areas under their control. Mm, 96, it looked like more killing, genocide trials in 96. Yeah, 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 this shit like it's just been ever lasting. You know what I mean? Just non-stop type shit. So, so in a way, this shit been going on forever. So I don't know what specifically had it trending today out of nowhere when they've been wilding like this for the minute.
Maybe it just became more relevant. I don't know.
Let me see what they talk about on CNN type shit. If they probably ain't even talking about it on there. Wait a minute, let me see.
What? Oh boy.
All right, that ain't even a motherfucking site, man. Okay, why the site look like that? I don't even like that. All right, well, but yeah, that is what it is. In fact, let me Instagram
Yeah, that's wild.
Congo. Ah, that's right. It ain't gonna show. I thought I thought this search thing allows you to search not only people but topics. Let's see, refugees maybe. Yeah, I don't know, but it's unfortunate what's going
I
on
mean,
out
it
here.
is. That's really unfortunate. I mean, yeah, I mean, God, I think that might be the one and only time where
Mm.
the white man might have actually benefited staying there. Right, bank mom's going to the gym. Like
And say,
that's just sad.
and then the other thing that I will speak to that I've been kind of peeping low key, like Chinese or China in general have been also low key colonizing, you know, trying to move into Africa, these African countries. But that's a whole other thing. Like I said, I've been seeing it, but I haven't really dug in and did like mad research
We
to.
could cap it here, Dre. I think that was good. You can end it here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shay has some tea